Hey friends, I'm Stephanie Carter Kelly, a physical therapist that uses yoga in just about everything that I do. Each week, I bring you physical, mental, and spiritual ways to heal your pain. Today, we're going to take you all the way back to the beginning, to the very, very beginning. In physical therapy, when we rehabilitate somebody, sometimes we use a developmental sequencing approach. That means we're going to take you back to the activities that you did when you were a baby. In yoga, there's another developmental approach, which is called the chakra system. So if we're going all the way back to the very beginning, we're going to go to the first chakra, which is the root chakra. So I haven't really talked about chakras very much before. And if you want to know more about the chakras and how I integrate the chakra system into my physical therapy, mixed with yoga approach, leave me a message with this video so that I'll know that you're interested in the chakras, and we'll talk more about those on upcoming videos. But today we're going to do tummy time. We're going to go onto our stomach, and we're going to do all of our exercises on our tummies. So when you have these little babies, the way that they start developing their back muscles is by putting them on their stomachs. And so we're going to do just a few things that start to engage the backside of our body. And so many times as adults, we just don't get down on the floor anymore and get on our tummies. So you need to be comfortable to do this. I'm aware that many of you haven't been in this position for a long time. So you may want to get a folded blanket or some kind of bolster or pillow and put that right under your tummy. You can adjust it wherever is best for you, but if I put it above the level of my hips, right around at the belly, I can just relax right over that bolster or pillow or rolled blankets. You don't want whatever you're using to be too soft. You want to have some firmness. That's why I like a rolled blanket, maybe, to get into this position. And so you're really just checking in with the sensations of your low back to see how that feels. So for some of you, it might just be getting into this position for the first time in a very long time. I also recommend that you do it on the floor rather than in the bed. But if you just want to start with the bed and make yourself a nice mound to lie over, that's okay too. However you can get on your tummy, just start there. I know that you can get there. So we're going to just come onto our bellies, and you're going to stack your hands on top of each other and put your forehead right on the back of your hands, just for a little bit of breathing. And you can kind of shift your weight back and forth, just kind of like I do, to get yourself settled in and nice and comfortable. And just take a few breaths on your tummy, feeling what happens. As you inhale, you should notice that your belly presses into the floor. You should notice your rib cage expanding into the floor. Just bring a lot of awareness to the front of your body as you're breathing. These are new sensations for many of you. Notice the rib cage expand. Notice the chest expand. Allow your body to relax. And if you feel like you're clenching in through your hips or clenching in through your belly or your low back, you might not have enough support under your hips and your belly. You want to be able to fully relax in this position. So take some time with a few breaths to just settle into this position. Letting the hips and the legs completely relax. And then all you're going to do is tighten your bottom and release your bottom. Tighten your bottom and release your bottom. Maybe you do that with the synchronization of the breath,
Or maybe through an inhale, you can tighten and release. And in an exhale, you can tighten and release. You'll feel your legs roll a little bit as you do that. The glutes have a rotational effect on the legs. That's okay. Just tighten and release. Tighten and release. Now, you want to just tighten the right side of your bottom. Same thing though, just tighten and release. Tighten and release. Just the right side of your bottom, tighten and release. Many of my clients in a class will giggle at this because they've never really been asked to just tighten one side of their body. And so it's just bringing awareness to these very strong glute muscles. These muscles do a lot to support you. And typically we're sitting on them and they get squished. So we just want to bring some awareness to those glutes. Now switch to the left side. Tighten and release. Tighten and release. You might feel other muscles, or it seems like other muscles kick in. You want to try to just local it right to the bottom. Try not to let the thigh contract. Just keep it right in the glute. The whole leg will move or roll, but try not to contract any other muscles. Now we're going to go back to the right side, but we're going to add a little bit more to it. Put your left arm overhead. Not right overhead, but bring it out in a little bit of a diagonal position. And now you're going to tighten the right side of your bottom, lift the left arm, put it down, and relax the right side of the bottom. So you're going to tighten, lift, lower, relax. Tighten the right side of your bottom, lift your left arm, lower the left arm, relax your bottom. Tighten, lift, lower, relax. And again, tighten, lift, lower, and relax. A couple more times. Trying to localize again that muscle contraction just to the right side of your bottom. Maybe synchronizing it with the breath as you get more aware and you can feel like you're successful with doing it. I don't worry too much about the breath when I start a new activity. And then you're going to switch. Forehead on the back of the left hand, right arm reaches in a diagonal, and you're going to tighten on the left side of the bottom. Tighten, lift, lower, relax. Tighten. Just the left side, lift the right arm, lower, and relax. Make sure with each repetition you come fully back to relaxed. Get to know what relaxed feels like. Tighten, lift, lower, relax. Tighten the left side of the bottom. Lift the right arm, lower the right arm, relax. Tighten, lift, lower, relax. Tighten, lift, lower, relax. And again, one more time. Tighten, lift, lower, and relax. Good. Now just kind of reposition, settle yourself down onto the floor. I want you to tuck your toes. And if you've got socks on, you may have to take your socks off. I'm going to move just a little bit so I get my toes onto my mat so I'm not slipping so much. So just tucking the toes. You might feel a little stretch in the calves or a stretch in the bottom of the feet. But we're going to do another sequential kind of activity. You're going to squeeze your bottom and you're going to lift your knees. And then you're going to lower your knees and then relax your bottom. Squeeze, straighten the knees, lower the knees, relax the bottom. Tighten, lift, lower, relax. Come all the way into relaxation. Tighten, lift, lower, keeping the glute squeeze, and then relax. Tighten, lift, lower, relax. Tighten, lift, lower, relax.
This is really hard for some people to isolate these different muscle groups. Very useful activity. Tighten again. You might feel your core engage with the tightening of the glutes. Lift the knees. Lower the knees. Relax. Tighten. Lift. Lower. Relax. If you feel it in your back, see if you can get a stronger glute squeeze here. And it's not about lifting the knees as high as you can. Just make that movement and then fully relax the knees, fully relax the glutes. And as I talk about it, it's hard to do. So you really have to be focused on what's going on with the body. This is a way to tune your mind into what's going on down there. So go ahead and come up to propped on elbows. And maybe you want to just sag your chest and be propped on the elbows. That's okay. But we just want to bring the awareness back to the breathing again. Inhale, expand into the belly. Exhale, just let the air out. Feel the belly press into the floor as you inhale. And lift up and away as you exhale. Feel those ribs expand as you inhale. And fall as you exhale. See if now you can press into the forearms and lift your chest a little bit. If this is uncomfortable at all in the small of your back, you can squeeze your bottom again, or you can always prop your hips up a little bit, whatever gives you some comfort. But now we are trying to get a little motion into extension. Holding that head up. If you think about the baby, one of the first things it does is lift its head. As a baby, we develop these muscles all along the spine in order to get that motion. Lift and reach. Usually they're reaching for a toy. So we need to be able to get that motion. So let's first just think about, we did a little bit of work in getting the muscles to contract. Now let's talk about getting some range of motion. Pressing into the forearms, lifting the chest. You can keep your chin tucked so you're looking out over the edge of the fingertips. But just tighten through the bottom. Feel like you're lifting and pressing and just breathing in this position, just holding this position. You can either keep the bottom tight or you can let it relax. See if you can relax all the way down through the hips, the legs, down to the feet. Completely relax. And then go ahead and come all the way back down. You're going to put those elbows underneath your torso and press into them, come to all fours. So that's just a little bit of tummy time. And if you have any soreness in the low back, you can finish that practice by going into child's pose. If you have this in this position, I'll show you an alternative position. But this now gets you in a little bit of flexion through your low back and through your hips. So it just might relieve any discomfort that you have from being on your stomach. But again, we need to be on our stomachs. We started that as a baby, and somewhere along the way, we lost it. And it's not as though you're sleeping on your stomach in this practice for a long period of time. You're just introducing some new movement to that spine and to those hips. So give it a try. Even if you feel a little discomfort in your low back, you can come back to a position of flexion and ease out any tension in the low back, whether it's with child's pose, or you can roll over onto your back. You can do the pelvic tilt where you flatten your back, bring a knee to the chest, bring another knee to the chest, and just relax in this position. That'll help ease out any tension as you begin to develop your ability to be on your tummy. You can stay in either of those positions for as long as you want. But I encourage you to keep trying to get onto your tummy. Do this practice many times, and over time you'll feel some of that tension release out of your low back. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel. And if you tap on the bell, you'll get a notification of a new video that I post each week. I'm Stephanie Carter Kelly, yoga physical therapist. Namaste.